Welcome to the Chic Assignment Check-in for October. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. My name is Jennifer and I do a chic assignment once a month here on my channel where we explore art, music, and ways to enrich our lives. So I'd like to welcome you back for the Chic Assignment Check-in. We're going to get into the Phantom of the Opera, Gustave Caillebotte, as well as the other two fun assignments. Before we begin, I would just like to thank all of you for 100,000 subscribers. I am so amazed, I can't believe it, and I just want to thank each and every one of you who has subscribed to my channel. As always, the Chic Assignment is brought to us by the Chic Society. This is my private membership group here on YouTube. Remember, subscribing is absolutely free, but if you would like more from this channel, you can go ahead and click the join button. There are 3 different tiers. I do one vodcast every single week, and we go live or do a Zoom call once a month, and it's just a wonderful community where we all get to chat with each other. So if you're interested, I will leave a link down below. There are 2 upper tiers in the Chic Society, and I'm going to be giving them recognition in today's video. You're going to see the scrolling ticker, and that is going to be the Chic Connoisseurs, one of the upper tiers. And at the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing with you the Elegant Connoisseurs and their names and their businesses. So I just want to thank the Chic Society so much for supporting my channel. Without further ado, let's get into the Chic assignments. Chic assignment number 1 was to listen to the Phantom of the Opera, and I gave you a wonderful recording from the 80s at the Tony Awards, and it was just so moving. And this month, on The Shows Must Go On, which is Andrew Lloyd Webber's YouTube channel, they streamed the entire Phantom of the Opera for free, and it was up for 48 hours. So if you follow me on my community tab or on Facebook, I shared that link, and I know that many of you watched that amazing performance. So let's learn a little bit more about the Phantom of the Opera right now. Okay, I'm reading this to you from Andrew Lloyd Webber's website. And it says, "The Phantom of the Opera, the timeless story, the unforgettable score, and an undeniable obsession that could never die." Based on the classic novel Le Fantôme de l'Opéra by Gaston Leroux, The Phantom of the Opera tells the story of a masked figure who lurks beneath the catacombs of the Paris Opera House, exercising a reign of terror over all who inhabit it. He falls madly in love with an innocent young soprano, Christine, and devotes himself to creating a new star by nurturing her extraordinary talents and by employing all of the devious methods at his command. The musical opened at Her Majesty's Theatre on 9th October 1986 and at the Majestic Theatre in New York on the 26th of January in 1988 with Michael Crawford, Sarah Brightman, and Steve Barton in the leading roles. There have been dozens of productions worldwide since. Now, 32 years after the production first opened, the show has won over 70 major theater awards and has been seen by more than 140 million people worldwide. That statistic gives me the chills. It makes me happy that so many people do go to the theater still. The thing about the Phantom of the Opera, and I have seen it live at the Pantages Theater in Hollywood, is that it is very moving, very interesting, very catchy. And I think that it has worldwide success because of that. Andrew Lloyd Webber is a genius of a composer, and we're going to learn more about him right now. Here's a short sampling of his biography from PBS. Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber has written some of the most commercially successful musicals of the last quarter of the 20th century. Among his most popular shows are Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in 1967, Jesus Christ Superstar in 1971, Evita in 1974, Cats in 1981, The Phantom of the Opera in 1986, and Sunset Boulevard in 1993. Lloyd Webber's gift for melody has spawned such classic musical theater songs as Memory and Music of the Night. Lloyd Webber was born in London on March 22, 1948. His father was a faculty member at the Royal College of Music, and his mother was a piano teacher. Andrew showed musical aptitude at a very young age, and while still a youth, composed short musical entertainments for his family. His first musical was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. With lyricist Tim Rice, Lloyd Webber created an eclectic score to accompany the Old Testament story of Joseph and his brothers. Musical numbers ranged in style from Elvis-style rock to calypso and soft rock ballads. Joseph's 2 big songs, Any Dream Will Do and Close Every Door, became hit singles. The Phantom of the Opera in 1986 is perhaps Lloyd Webber's best-known work. Based on Gaston Leroux's novel, the music included the songs Music of the Night, All I Ask of You, The Phantom of the Opera, and Think of Me. Michael Crawford and Sarah Brightman, then Lloyd Webber's wife, starred in the original production. Phantom is indicative of a trend in the late 1980s toward a sung-through musical, one in which spoken dialogue is limited and often replaced by operatic recitative, speech singing. The lavish sets, the impressive special effects, and hauntingly beautiful musical score have made the show one of the most popular musicals worldwide. With his impressive array of commercially and artistically successful shows, Lloyd Webber is one of the most important composers for the musical theater in the last decades of the 20th century. Both his innate gift for melody and his ability to create music which live up to the dazzling special effects characteristic of so many of his shows have contributed immensely to his worldwide success. So there you have it. That is the story of The Phantom of the Opera and Andrew Lloyd Webber. What is your favorite song from The Phantom of the Opera? If I had to choose, Music of the Night would have to be my favorite one. I had a music box as a child that had that song in it, and it's just so good. So anyway, let us know what your favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber musical is down below and what your favorite song is from The Phantom of the Opera. All right, let's learn more about French Impressionist painter Gustave Caillebotte. I'm going to read to you from his biography and show you some of his most famous works. Gustave Caillebotte was born into a wealthy Parisian family on August 19, 1848. The family lived in Paris on the Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis. Marshal Caillebotte, his father, had inherited his family's military textile business. Additionally, the elder Caillebotte was a judge at the Tribunal de Commerce in the Seine department. He had already been widowed twice by the time he married his third wife, and Gustave's mother, Céleste Dauphrosne, the eldest of her 3 children with Marshal. Gustave had 2 younger brothers, René and Marshal. In 1860, the family began going for the summer to their estate in Yarès, which was 12 miles south of Paris on the Yarès River. His father had purchased land there, including a large home, and it was there on the family's extensively landscaped property where the young Caillebotte first began drawing and painting. After finishing his schooling, Caillebotte completed his law degree in 1868 and received his law license in 1870. Intelligent and ambitious, he was also trained as an engineer. Caillebotte hadn't been out of school for long before he was drafted to serve in the Franco-Prussian War from July 1870 to March 1871. Following the war, Caillebotte began pursuing his artistic career, which increased fervor. He visited the studio of the well-respected academic painter Léon Bonnat, who encouraged him to begin taking a career in art seriously. Bonnat, a realist painter who had influential friends like the writer Émile Zola and artist Edgar Degas and Edward Manet, was a teacher at the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts. Caillebotte threw himself enthusiastically into his new vocation, including enrolling in the École des Beaux-Arts in 1873, although he spent very little time there, preferring his own studio in his family's home. Caillebotte's father died in 1874. His brother René died only 2 years later, and in 1878 his mother died, leaving the 2 remaining sons, Gustave and Marshal, to divide the family fortune between them. Around the time that his father died, Caillebotte made some vital connections in the art world, befriending a number of artists who were not involved with the French Academy, including Monet, Renoir, Pissarro, and de Nittis. He was a colleague and in some cases close friend of some of the most important avant-garde artists of the period. Caillebotte made his artistic debut in 1876 at the second exhibition of the Impressionists. There were 8 exhibitions total. The loosely knit group of artists, also known as the Independents, the Internationalists, and the Intransigents, in keeping with the Impressionist avant-garde style, a rejection of academic painting and the formalities of the traditional exhibition protocols of the official salon, Caillebotte, Renoir, Monet, and others produced small independent exhibitions of their work. At the third exhibition in 1876, which Caillebotte helped finance and organize, he exhibited 8 paintings, including one of his best-known works, The Floor Scrapers, from 1875, which had been rejected by the judges of the Salon of 1875. The official exhibition sponsored by the Académie des Beaux-Arts. As it depicted common laborers, it was deemed vulgar, whereas the artistic establishment might find images of peasants in bucolic settings by well-respected artists like Corot acceptable. Representations of the working class produced by realist painters like Courbet, Manet, Degas, and then Caillebotte, among others, were deemed unacceptable and thus rejected from official recognition. Isn't that interesting? I have a lot of thoughts on that, but we'll talk about that another time. In addition to being a painter himself, Caillebotte also played a critical role as a major source of patronage and financial support for artists such as Monet, Renoir, and Pissarro, who were still endeavoring to attract attention and achieve more widespread success. His family's wealth helped him not only to pursue his own artistic career, but it also enabled him to both provide financial support for his artist friends, whose means were limited, and to collect their work, often buying it at inflated prices. He purchased paintings by Monet for the first time in 1876, and also paid the rent for some of the artist's studios on a number of occasions. As a collector, Caillebotte was extremely selective in his sponsorship of specific artists. For example, he never bought the work of either Georges Seurat or Paul Gauguin. Additionally, he had no works by the symbolist artists in his personal collection. On the other hand, he was a major force in convincing the Louvre Museum to buy Manet's controversial painting, Olympia. Caillebotte's collecting extended beyond the arts as well, including his amassing of a world-class stamp collection that's now in the possession of the British Library in London. By the time of the Third Impressionist exhibition in 1877, Caillebotte had become not only a central organizer of what had evolved into an independent, unofficial, and distinctly avant-garde salon, but he was also an important force in the avant-garde movement. Although his style didn't explore the effects of light, his work was more realist, on par with the early paintings by Monet, as well as the work of Gustave Courbet and Edouard Manet. He displayed work in subsequent Impressionist exhibitions, although he famously boycotted the sixth one as he had opposed the inclusion of Degas, a rivalry that underlines how fraught associations in the Impressionist circle actually were. He participated the following year in the Seventh Impressionist exhibition, submitting 17 paintings, although there was turmoil once again, as evidently Caillebotte and Pissarro were at odds. It's so interesting how they were all fighting with each other. Monet and Caillebotte both refused to participate in the final exhibition in 1886, but by then he had all but stopped painting completely. In 1881, Caillebotte bought a house and property in Petite-Geneviève in the northwestern suburbs on the Seine River. He relocated there permanently in 1888. In 1882, he threw himself into a new hobby that consumed a great deal of his time, in addition to the other collecting activities and gardening, constructing yachts, which he already had experienced racing. He spent the majority of his time with his brother Marshall and his good friend Renoir, who came to visit the house, and enjoyed talking over subjects like philosophy, literature, politics, and art. Caillebotte never married, although he is thought to have had a serious long-term relationship with a woman named Charlotte Berthier. She was 11 years younger than him and apparently from a lower-class family. When he died, Caillebotte left her a large annuity. By the early 1890s, Caillebotte was barely painting. He had stopped producing the large, ambitious canvases of previous decades. In 1894, at the age of 45, he was working in the garden at his home in Petite-Geneviève when he collapsed, dying suddenly of a stroke. He was buried at the famous Père Lachaise Cemetery in southeastern Paris. So that is the biography of Gustave Caillebotte. I was surprised to hear that he died so young of a stroke at only the age of 45. And it was quite interesting that he was a wealthy man and he was able to be a patron to many of his artistic friends. And I also found it interesting that they all had rivalries and fought with each other. So there you go. I hope that you enjoyed this portion of the Chic Assignment. Let us know what your favorite Gustave Caillebotte painting is down below. Chic Assignment number 3 was to focus on presentable undergarments and presentable sleepwear. I'm not going to go much into it here because I did produce 2 videos this month that discussed these items in great detail. But the thing I want you to take away from it is to encourage you to use the best things that you already have. If you have presentable undergarments and presentable sleepwear, I encourage you to use them on a daily or nightly basis. And make sure you go through your items that you already have and declutter. Get rid of the things that are not up to par. Those were the main messages from my undergarments and sleepwear videos. And finally, I encouraged you to enjoy cooking something seasonal this month. I did put out a What's for Dinner video earlier in the month, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and there's going to be another one coming out soon. So I really do hope that those deeper explorations into the chic assignments give you lots of inspiration and recipe ideas and other ideas on how you can improve your everyday life. I want to thank you so much for joining us for the Chic Assignment, and now I'm going to give you the Elegant Connoisseur mentions. Thank you to the Elegant Connoisseurs. Awesome Possum Powers by Shannon Beers,
Shannon has a YouTube channel that complements her wonderful book featuring her felted characters. Azalea Spa Goods by Amy Floor, handcrafted aromatherapy body oils. Dressed for My Day with Kay Harms, encouraging women 40 plus to care for and dress their bodies in a way that helps influence our world positively and with grace. Elaine Bribois. Elaine is a certified nutritionist and women's weight loss coach. Download her Elegant Eating Handbook to get started at elainebribois.com/eleganteating. Faith Grace Home with Brianna Morales is a blog about encouraging women in their homemaking roles through a biblical perspective. Freedom Moms by Ashley Buffa. Learning to treat chores as a family team is the key to creating and maintaining a tidy, organized home, and it's attainable through the Freedom Moms Smart Kid Chore System. Inspired by Nikki, YouTube channel and Etsy shop. Making the everyday beautiful with God's inspired word. Jennifer Melville, author of Elevate Your Personal Style, Inspiration for the Everyday Woman, and Elevate the Everyday, Actions and Ideas to Enhance the Experience of Daily Life. Both titles are available on Amazon. Julie Coleman from My Confident Closet. Julie helps you build a seasonal wardrobe that fits your style and budget. Katie Rose, artist. Katie is an artist and writer compelled by the beauty of light illuminating darkness. Her original paintings can be found at katierosecollection.com. Nicole Brignol, founder of Lovely Bits, organic intimate care for women. Rosenda Valenzuela from the Little Pink Casa channel. She inspires ladies in vintage homemaking, elegant lifestyle, feminine wardrobe, and romantic home. Oh Wondrous Grace Chronicle by founder Claire Kerrigan, a faith-based magazine for women navigating their midlife with grace. Tina Hugal from Outschool. Tina teaches history through biographies for ages 8 to 16. Michelle Rohr from the Secret Owl Society, digital planners. The Shortbread Family. Alan's Scottish Shortbread uses their Scottish grandmother's heirloom family recipe to bake small batches of buttery shortbread that pairs perfectly with a pot of tea, and they are holding an 85% off clearance sale at alanscottishshortbread.com. Mrs. TJ Sturm from Sturm Brothers Jewelry, a family-owned custom-designed jewelry store specializing in making heirloom jewelry into something special for the next generation to cherish. Something to Cherish, beautiful and meaningful products that promote the celebration and gift of life based off of the watercolor designs of artist Cherish Flighter. And thank you to the following: Catherine Ray, Mercedes Gilligan, AAM Truth Teller, Carly Tom, Christine Bola, Carolyn Haydu, Denise John, Jet Raleigh Heron, Heather Barrera, Jenny Candelaria, Leslie Morris from Gather and Grow, Linda Eckloff, Marie Caudill, Maria Condor, Melissa Ricci, and Prudently at Home.
Thank you so much to the Elegant Connoisseurs, the top tier in the Chic Society, and thank you to everyone in the Chic Society for bringing us the Chic Assignment Check-in. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time on the Daily Connoisseur. Bye, everyone.